Welcome to the Functioning Griefster, a podcast about grief, love, and the legacy those we've lost still leave behind. I'm Alexandra Spencer, a sports and holistic therapist and a grieving mom to my son Declan, my best friend, my sunshine, my soulmate. Each week I sit down in the back of Dec's van with someone from the club no one ever wants to join. We cry, we laugh, we swear, and we honour their stories, uncovering the powerful bonds that even death just cannot break. There's no script, no rules, just honesty, heart, and a lot of courage. This podcast is part of my one-woman mission to challenge the taboo around grief, especially when someone dies too soon. I don't believe their name should be buried with them. Their voices still echo through us. So if you've ever felt like you were thrown into a cold, dark ocean with no rescue ring in sight, this is the place for you. So grab your life jacket, you're not alone. Okay, so today I'm here with Shelley, the very proud mom of Luke. So would you like to tell me a bit about your boy?
He was amazing.
Well, how old was he?
So Luke was 20, and I'm just visualising him in my head now. And he was just such a beautiful lad with such a winning smile, and just this capacity to just make everybody laugh and feel at ease, and he was just a beautiful soul. So yeah, he was, I don't really know what to say.
Well, I know that it was just you and Luke at home.
Yeah, it was.
So you had that kind of special mum-son bond that Dec and I shared as well.
Yeah, he was my best mate.
Yeah.
And we just conquered the world together. He was into girls, obviously. So our relationship wasn't quite as close as he got older. But it was just me and him. We were a team. And you just do the mum thing where you just want to support them in everything, and you just want them to be happy and confident in life. Luke wasn't massively confident. He did struggle with insecurities, but through his own experienced childhood, us growing up together, just me and him, he was mature beyond his years, and he had a real understanding of mental health, and he just wanted to look after everybody else, things that I found out since he died. He always would be there for other people. So when I thought he was upstairs maybe gaming, or he was actually chatting to people and making sure they were okay. If people were in really bad places, didn't matter what time of the day or night it was, he'd just drive out to see them. He loved driving.
I was going to say,
his cars.
Him and Dec had a similarity, didn't they, with their passions?
They did, yes. Yeah,
so
car mad boys.
Yeah, and it was a particular type of car, wasn't it, that he was really into?
So Luke loved everything Japanese. He was really passionate about anything to do with
anime
Japanese,
as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, anything, Japanese, but especially the Japanese cars. So his pride and joy was the Unos Roadster, which is an MX-5 over here, but it depends where they're made.
Oh, okay.
So you've got, if an MX-5 is made over in the UK, then, or in Europe, then it's called an MX-5. If it's made in Japan, it's called a Unos. And if it's from America, then it's a Miata. So, but his handle was LTT Miata, because he knew it would get more reach. you see, so that's why he called it that. But I never knew that they had different names.
No, I didn't. So you've taught me something
yes,
there then.
Yeah, so, and the Salika was Japanese as well.
Yeah.
He just loved Japanese things, and always wanted to go to Japan as well. And the car culture, just their culture, basically, everything to do with them.
Yeah, and I've seen pictures of him. He is a good-looking guy as well.
He was a beautiful boy. He took after his dad, not me.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And here is a picture of you and Luke.
Yes.
So I know that on October the 13th, 23, the day started off normally, and then it took a bit of a change in the afternoon. Are you able to tell me some things that happened that day?
Yeah, so it was our normal, I guess. I recently had an operation, and so I had a checkup at the hospital, and I came back, and I'd asked Luke to get his room ready so that I could decorate it. We'd had a deal that if he sorted his room so that I could decorate his room, then he was allowed to borrow my car, because if he didn't go out driving, then his mental health would suffer and he would pace.
Because his car was off the road at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah. So he didn't have a car at the time, actually, because he recently sold his. He had a BMW, E46, and he sold that because it didn't pass the MOT. He couldn't afford to have the repair work done. So he would insure on my Z4, which I wasn't too keen on. But when you see that your child is suffering, you try and do anything to help them.
And I think a lot of people in the car world do find going for a drive fantastic for their mental health. Yeah. So I can totally understand why you would support that.
Yeah. So he needed to do that, and I was like, well, here's the deal then, that you sort your room out so that I can decorate it, and you can take the car. So I came back from the hospital appointment, and he'd done exactly what I'd asked him to do, more so. There was furniture from his room downstairs in the living room, and so really I couldn't break a deal. Even though I challenged my own head, I was like, you should be helping me decorate, because that's the only way you'll respect your room. But no, you can take the car, and yeah, so he left. I think it was about 5 to 8 in the evening, and I've got all the Ring doorbell footage. I kept all the Ring doorbell footage. I saved it. Him sort of going in and out of the car, because when Luke went out, he would probably stay for a couple of nights wherever he was going, but he always sort of like took a holdall with him. Tried to take the telly with him as well, but that didn't fit into the Z4, so that came back out again. So I've got all this on the Ring doorbell footage. And yeah, and at 5 to 8 he drove away, and that was the last time I saw him alive, basically. So because he ended up aquaplaning on the A46. The weather had been torrential, and there was a lake of water on the A46, sort of the Stratford stretch. The drains they hadn't been cleared for however long. There was grass growing out of the mud in them. We found all this out from the inquest. But yeah, he was in a line of sort of 8 other cars. But his, unfortunately, and I presume it's because it was rear-wheel drive, he just lost control and ended up doing a 180 on the A46, and there was an oncoming lorry, and the lorry just, sort of collided with him, so it was considered a road traffic collision, and that was it. He died instantly. So, and then the lead up to that, sort of, I had no idea. All I remember was I was thinking about, obviously decorating his room, so I was preparing the room, stripping the wallpaper a bit, but I remember not really feeling that I wanted to do it. I had this kind of like, but I'm like that, and sometimes with my own mental health I'm like, oh look, Shell, you've really got to push yourself through, put a firework up your bottom, and you know, and just get on with it. But there was something, it was almost like a brick wall was stopping me from doing it. That's the only thing that I can think was my body's reaction to tell me that something had happened to him, but I didn't relate it to any of that at all at the time. And so I ploughed on, and then I received a message, I think it was about 10:30, from the girl that Luke was driving to see, telling me that she was worried that he hadn't turned up and that his car had stopped, because they have this Life 360 app, so they track each other. And bizarrely enough, only that day, I think Luke had given her my telephone number as well. So she obviously was able to contact me and told me that his car had stopped on the Life 360 app, sent me a screenshot. And of course I didn't know what to think at the time. I just thought maybe he'd stopped in traffic, because I don't know how Life 360 worked at the time. I didn't know that it sent out a crash alert to all of the friends in the circle, which I'm assuming that it did to his friends, his close friends. So it obviously alerted Gracie. She knew that something had happened, but so I thought he was just stuck in traffic, and I was hoping that he was just waiting in traffic. And the next screenshot that I got was of a local Warwickshire Press or something saying that there had been a fatal accident on the A46 stretch. So of course then you start piecing the pieces of the jigsaw together a little bit, but you're still hopeful that it's not your child.
And then you got that knock on the door that every parent...
Well, I called the police, but again, because it was out of county, they couldn't give me any information. So again, I was just hoping. The car, I had sort of updates from the girl that he'd gone to see that the car was moving again. It moved to a police station, so I thought, well, maybe he's given a statement. In the back of your mind, you're thinking, I hope it's not him. Or his phone's being taken to the police station, and it was him. So she was giving me those updates. The next thing I get is at 11:30 at night. 2 police officers knock at the door. At which point I just screamed.
It's kind of a before and after, isn't it? Before that knock on the door and after. And it's that after, especially when you are a single mom, that you have to then try to navigate grieving.
A journey. A shit journey. Sorry,
like,
am I allowed to swear?
Yes. You can't be in Dex Van and not swear.
I swear more then.
But you have to navigate stuff that, as a mum, like, you never think you're going to need to know how to register a death.
You don't prepare for anything like that.
Whilst you are enduring the most painful thing that can happen to a parent, you're also chucked into a world you don't understand, that you have no choice but to do. Yeah. And doing that as a single parent is so hard, because you don't have that other person to maybe discuss with, or to share it with.
Yeah.
And I know we've been speaking for quite a while, and I know that just like me, you're on this roller coaster of days that you think you can smash this, and other days where you are literally bearing the unbearable, and it is soul destroying. But I know that you found a bit of a way to channel your love for Luke and to keep his legacy going.
Yeah.
And that's in his big love.
Yes, which is his Unos Roadster. Yeah. So it had to be that is the way forward for me. It will continue to be the way forward for me. But don't get me wrong, most days I don't want to be here. And the cars have morphed into Luke.
Yeah.
They are my son, just like Dex Van is it's your the closest that you can be to your child, the memories, the history that you have with those cars, the journeys. So for me to keep those cars going, so there's 2 cars that I have. I bought 1 car back. So he's got obviously the MX, he's got the Unos Roadster, and he's got the Celica.
Which I will point out is purple.
He is purple,
and is
absolutely.
currently sat next to Dex Van,
Yeah,
and here's a picture of the 2 beautiful purples together.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, he did want the MX-5 to. I keep saying MX-5 because in the UK it's MX-5.
Yeah, he would tell you off, no doubt.
He would do. But yeah, he always wanted the Unos to be painted purple as well. But it's something I can't do.
Yeah.
That's something I can't do. People say do things that you think Luke would want you to do now, but it wouldn't be Luke's car.
Yeah, and it has to be what's right for you. Dex wanted this to be Skyline Midnight Purple. He was very specific as to the colour, and I have only had a wrap done, so the car is still actually deep impact blue, for deep impact blue. So when you open the door, the inside is still that colour. So that's how I've managed to keep Dex Van as it was, but keeping his wishes.
Yes, and that's the thing. Maybe somewhere down the line, but people know Luke's car with the following that he had. The car was the red Unos Roadster with the mismatched bumper, because it had a mismatched bumper, and he was always roasted for his car because he kept saying yes, it's going to be colour matched, and it never happened. And even now, there are some people that don't know the history behind the bumper, that say, are you going to colour match the bumper to the rest of the car? And I'm like, no, Luke's car is the red Unos with the mismatched bumper. And if I go to shows, which again, I will go to Jap Fest again this year, the car is actually hoping to be restored. There is rust in the sills. I'm hoping to have that restored soon, so hopefully that won't coincide with Jap Fest.
But all being well, people can see Luke's car in person,
because there will be
Jap
shows.
Fest Santa Pod
This year. Yes. And other shows, but again, I'm not the most organised of people,
and it's hard.
So it's very hard when you're navigating grief and the emotions and trying to keep your son's legacy alive, to actually function like a normal person. It's
hard. It's tricky.
It's not even hard. Is an understatement, isn't it? It's
there isn't a word in the English language
weight
for
of
it.
pressure. Because you want to do that. You want to make your child proud, and you want to do the things that they would be doing if they were still here. But at the same time, you're carrying such an immense weight of grief alongside entering a new world that I wasn't privy to before. I knew he loved cars. I knew he wanted to take, for example, like he always wanted to take the Unos to Jap Fest, but it was never in a running state to be able to do that. So he never got that opportunity. So when I went last year, it was bittersweet.
Yeah,
really,
and that's the thing that I've even said. It's bittersweet. You're doing it for them, and that becomes your purpose.
Yes.
But the fact you're not doing it with them, or the fact they're not just doing it themselves.
Yes, he wouldn't want me
horrible.
there. Exactly. If he was still alive, I would be banned from doing things to do with the car. I was heavily involved when he first got the car, because he was learning to drive and I was the passenger, so he had to have me because he was still on an L plate. But yeah, once he was able to do his own thing, when he passed his test, then that was his scene. He might have invited me. I'll never know now. But to be honest, I was probably quite embarrassing. I was the embarrassing mum, even though I think I was quite a cool mum. I think I was a bit embarrassing. And yeah, they just want to do their own thing, and it was his pride and joy to go and show. And so this year will be events and shows again, more locally to where I live. So, but there will be the odd one that may be further afield, because people want to see his car. And I'll take both of them. I will take both the Celica and the Unos. And it's like, and when people see his car, and even if they didn't know him personally, but they may have interacted on his TikTok or on his Instagram, and he would always respond to people. He really did, what's the word, connect in a way that I don't connect with people. You know, he was able to connect with lots of different people despite his own anxieties. Oh look, Aaron's on the car. On the van. That was it. The car community was him. Yeah. And and the car community isn't me, although I feel like an imposter sometimes in a world that I didn't understand.
When people start talking to me about what horsepower has it got,
oh,
blah 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 blah, I'm like, on deck, remind me what it is.
Yes,
but it was all just, you know, it's the irony that he took his last breath in this car when he used to say that he felt like he was part of this because his wheelchair is literally slots in, so he could tell if the tracking was out or anything. So it is it but like you said, it's bitter sweet, and it's somehow keeping us going.
And you have to find things to keep you going.
Because that's how we met, was because you took on Luke's TikTok, his social media, just like I did Dex. And although it was one of Declan's friends that actually said, you need to look at this woman, she's doing what you're doing. So then it was hilarious. I reached out to you but didn't know how to actually read messages on TikTok.
Yes, I remember. Yes.
So for those that don't already follow you and Luke's journey, what is the handle for TikTok and Instagram that people can use?
His TikTok handle is LTT_Miata or #LTT. And his Instagram is bagged_Unos Roadster.
And your way of keeping Luke's legacy alive is by talking about him, by showing his pride and joys.
It is. I tend to, so if I take the car to a show, or if I add anything to his crash site, people want to see that the cars are being used, and, you know, in honour of him, because he would have wanted that. Is that me? Is it?
Don't worry.
So it's just sort of like, it's I don't use his handles anymore, so I've left them. I did 2 final TikToks on his LTT Miata, which was the guys that were wonderful who helped to rebuild the car so that I could drive it to the funeral, because that was my only wish. When the car community reached out to me and said, if there's anything we can do for you, we'll do whatever you want. And I said, you know, all I want to do is be able to drive the car to his funeral. And they achieved that in 3 weeks. So, and only at weekends. They rebuilt the whole car. The engine had a donated engine.
Oh, wow.
You know, the guys worked tirelessly, and I have video footage, and it took me a while before, because at the time I wasn't TikTok savvy. I only had TikTok myself so that I could follow Luke, you know, and support him with what he was doing. So my TikTok was empty, so I decided that I would do the 2 final ones, so his funeral and the rebuild of the car. And then I would carry on his legacy with my own account. So my own TikTok account is Zepster77, and my Instagram is bagged_UNOS_roadsters_mum.
Yeah.
Which I may change at some point to Luke Tyler Legacy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but again, these things happen slowly. These
This is it. It's baby steps, isn't it?
And it takes time, so much time. It could be
easy
years
to get flooded.
Yeah,
as well.
But initially, after they die, you want to make everybody proud, not only your children. So you want to, and your people flood you with, oh, you should come to this show, you should do this, let's get some photos with your car, and you're still in shock. For an entire year. You know, I still had things like the inquest didn't happen till February. That was that was 5 months after he died, but so I was still interacting with the police at that time. There was paperwork, you know, you have to cancel their, you know, Disney. I had to cancel his Disney account. You know, that broke me.
It is.
You know?
I don't know about you, but when I got sent from the council wanting it to become single occupancy, I was like
devastated.
How dare you say my son doesn't live here anymore? I wanted to carry on paying for 2 people because I wanted him to almost have a home to come back to, and as crazy as it sounds, it's
walk
those
through that
things,
door still and go into his room.
Like the universe is trying to tell you, or the world's trying to tell you, they're no longer here. So
so move on.
You are a single occupancy now, and it breaks your heart because you know they're not coming back, but you don't need other people telling you that.
No, exactly. And those rooms, Luke's room is pretty much how he left it, bar a few things because I was in the middle of decorating, but same with Dec. It's like, if I really need to go inside myself to grieve, then I know if I can take myself up into his room, look around, know that he's never going to walk back into that room again. That's, again, other than his cars, is the closest that I can feel to him. So to take that away, I've had people say to me, you need to get a job. Like, you know, I was working and I tried to go back to my old job. Mentally and physically, I struggled. But to take his room away from me, you know, I can totally understand your position. I own my home, so I've never been in that where I've had to. But you know, when you have people that say, have you thought about moving? Yes, I have thought about moving. I've thought about just becoming what's the word? Just so just go somewhere where there's either crashing waves or nobody knows me, or I can disappear and I can just live my life in the past. I want to live my life in the past, believe it or not. Yes, I want to honour his memory. So again, there's those conflicts of thoughts because you want to keep them alive. You want to live their life that they can't live anymore, but they're watching from above or wherever they are.
I can hear all of this, these different dialogues.
You're being pulled in so many different directions.
By yourself as well, half the time.
Yeah, but it's expectations of other people that are the hardest, because, you know, they want the best for you, and it's all said through love, but sometimes you just want to say, you have no idea how I feel, the thoughts that I battle with every day. I just want my boy back. I want my boy. You know, he was the love of my life. He was my soulmate. He was my best friend. So I'm now going back to telling you all about Luke. You know, it was like he was the only person in this world that understood me, that knew when I needed a hug, knew how to balance my emotions, knew how to talk sense out of a situation that I was struggling with in my head. He was there. And it's, you know, and other people don't get that magnitude of loss, and you have to then navigate this new life without this person that you've spent, and as a single parent, it was only us. You know, he was almost like my partner as well as my son. So and you, I want to be a mum again. I grieve being a mum again. I miss those things that he brought to my life and the things that he could have brought to my life, how he enriched my life, how he made things so much better for me, how he gave me a reason to live, even though he was at the point where he was wanting to move out. You know, you always think your child's going to be there. And they're going to, you know, when you're growing old, you think they're going to be there to support you. That's been stripped. You know, I don't have any grandchildren. So I'll never be a grandparent.
Thing, isn't it? Knowing
it didn't bother me before,
but it's knowing you will.
I don't have that opportunity now. It's been taken from me, even though I don't think he would have been ready. Even though he said he was ready to be.
But it is. It's all like you said. The legacy has gone in regards to we're not going to have any. We know we're not going to have any more children. We don't want any more children. But we're not going to have any grandchildren.
No.
So the only legacy we have is what they were,
what they brought to the table when they were alive.
Which, as it happens for both of our boys, is their passion for four wheels. And you know, for people to come and see Luke's cars, and hear your story, and to see, you know, the amazing drawings you've done. You know, I know that a lot of the time it doesn't matter if people say they're proud of you and what you're doing is amazing, because none of that brings Luke back, and that's all that will make you feel better. But you are doing amazing,
and we are here still.
We're just about here. But you are doing amazing, and you know, some of the journey I've watched you be on, you know, with your drawings, with cars. As hard as it is, try to keep going. I'm excited to continue following the journey with you and Luke and his cars at the car shows. On all of Deck's social media, we'll be sharing the cars.
Absolutely. We'll have to go to one show together.
Yes, definitely.
I think when people see the car in person,
it's different. It is different.
It is, but it's nice for them too, for us to do that, not just for our boys, but for the other people that were involved in their lives. And that is really important to me. It's like, I think people, when the car was being rebuilt, I think people thought that would be it. You know, I drove it to the funeral, and that was it. I can't bear, you know, some people may not be able to step in the car that their child, you know, it may just become sort of a show. But for me, I want other people to see that it is being loved, looked after, restored, doing the things that I know that my boy would have wanted. And when you have people come up to you at shows crying, it, you know, and how much he meant to them, you know, you're
well, you know, you've done well as a mom. As well.
And it does give you that extra strength at that time. I'm not saying that it continues, because the strength does, again, it diminishes, doesn't it? And then you find something else that brings you back again.
Definitely. But I think, I know for me, that sometimes I feel like, was he even real?
Oh yeah.
Did I imagine this? So to have someone actually share a memory with you, or just acknowledge their existence, it far from makes everything okay, but it makes you feel seen. And I think that's all we really want, is to be seen, because somehow we do still exist, but we want to be seen as the moms that we still are. Because we are still moms. And we want to be seen, we want to be heard, and we want to be supported.
Continually. Sort of not just initially. That support needs to continue.
Definitely, because grief it's not linear, and it doesn't follow a timeline, and it's not one size fits all. And when you have complex grief, which is actually a thing, it makes it even harder. So everyone's well-meaning platitudes can just make you feel more inferior.
And they come from a place of what's the word I'm thinking of?
Sometimes it's a place of love, other times it's a place of discomfort.
Discomfort, yes, but also they haven't experienced it. Even if they have suffered a loss of somebody that they love, because I always placate it, I suppose, by saying it's the relationship that you have with that person. I very much still believe that.
Yeah.
But when you lose a child, you lose your whole future, and
you lose your identity.
Different. You lose your identity. Yeah, definitely. I didn't ever envisage myself being back to being somebody that's on her own.
Yeah.
Without my boy.
Yeah.
You know, without that support mechanism where we supported each other. But, you know, it's finding those reasons and what that purpose is to keep us going. And it helps that car season's coming.
Yes,
again,
it does,
doesn't it? Yeah.
Christmas.
I did need a break, but...
If I could have become a bear and hibernated for Deck's birthday, my birthday, Christmas, New Year, Valentine's and Mother's Day,
I had to
slip
go
that
away for
in.
Christmas, yeah. Oh, Mother's Day.
Yeah, if I could hibernate and just come back out for car season...
Yes, yeah.
Then that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Because that's when I feel I'm doing something for Deck.
Yes, yeah, exactly. During the winter... Again, people do work on their cars, but
we're not mechanics.
I'm not a mechanic. And I'll do little things, and I'm really proud of myself when and these are the things that I will sort of put on the social media so that people can see that I am still trying to look after Luke's cars. But the indicator wasn't working on the Sleeker, so it was ticking really fast, and I thought, oh no. I thought, I'm going to give it a go. So I unscrewed the headlight cover and replace the bulb, but it didn't stop the ticking. So I was like, okay, this is a bigger issue. But I actually got some nail polish remover and a little earbud, and cleaned the connections in the bulb and that. So the old bulb does actually still work. I cleaned it. It took sort of maybe about 5 minutes or so. I didn't think it had done anything, but this is probably me researching on YouTube.
No, but you did it.
But I did it,
well done.
And it's fixed.
Yeah. And you did
a small thing that I didn't. So although predominantly people have built, and it was Luke's running joke that his car was built by everyone but him, and it still is, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I do try to do the little things and clean it and polish it and and it does make me feel close to him, and I do feel proud of myself when I do little things.
It's the small
like
wins,
that.
isn't it?
It is. It is. You need them.
Yeah.
We need them.
Yeah.
We need those small wins, and even if they're friends, just check in.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be every day, but every so often, just checking in.
You just want to be seen.
Yes. Yeah. And a lot of people say sort of, how are you? And it's hard to answer that question, but I don't mind when people say, how are you? Because they care. Yeah. And it's nice when people care. It's just hard
to answer,
but don't always expect me to reply. Yeah. They know this.
It's a hard question when you're not okay. You'll never be okay.
Yeah.
So it's a hard one.
It's, we do put on this front. And
to protect ourselves as much as anyone else.
I think it's grief. Again, I think it's grief's way with me. I'm able to function to other people, but behind closed doors or a small trigger may set me off, like when we were inside talking, and when the tears start flowing. But I don't know about you, but instantly my head goes into, I mustn't cry. Come on, put a stop on it. Come on, pull yourself together. I think it's like, no, why can't we just let ourselves go and cry and cry and cry?
You become a secret cry, don't you?
Yes, yeah.
You do.
Yeah, and again, it is to make other people feel comfortable, because grief is, it is a bit of a taboo thing, I think, and especially losing a child.
Doing this podcast is because other countries don't act the way we do when someone dies, and that needs to change.
Yes.
So I thank you so much for sharing your story and Luke's story.
Yeah, thank you.
And coming and sitting in the back of Deck's van. And please do follow Shelley and Luke's story. We've already said all the socials for it. Because as long as we keep saying their name...
edit a lot of this as well. It takes me a while to warm up. I could talk for hours. Once we get going...
Because it becomes not a thing then.
Yes.
It's just a
initially
thing.
It's a thing, yes.
Yeah, whereas I think I can almost switch.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. Next Wednesday on the Functioning Griefster, I'll be joined by Holly Dance, mother of Archie Battersby. You've seen the headlines, you've read the news, but now hear it from Holly herself, in her own words. She shares the truth behind what happened to her son, Archie, who died at just 12 years old after taking part in a TikTok challenge that went tragically wrong. This is her story, raw, real, and heartbreakingly human. This podcast is in honour of my son Declan, and for anyone out there who's lost someone they love, I see you, I feel you, I hear you, and I hope in some small way this helps you feel a little less alone. Keep your heart safe until next time, and don't forget to follow or subscribe. Your support helps keep this podcast going.